the second situation I actually want to describe, this is a very interesting situation. So basically, I was suffering from a complete panic attack. Like I was in the middle of a panic attack, right? And so basically, some of my old neighbors end up calling my mom, and they're like, Olivia is having a panic attack. I don't know what they said. They said something else that was sort of in the realm of like, Olivia is having a panic attack, or can you please come and pick her up? Right? And so I was like sitting in front of their restaurant. And so my mom comes to pick me up in my vehicle. Now, I'm just kind of like, I'm not at all in an okay place. And this is also in a time before I started therapy, but also, how can I describe, there's just so much that I know now where like I would advise myself in a situation like that to do something like vlogging, like journaling, or just like taking a walk or taking a seat and just going to watch some water when you feel like shit has hit the fan. It will happen. Like there are just times in society, especially in this type of society, where shit doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make sense temporarily. Probably like every single thing around you doesn't make any goddamn sense, especially if you're living in a city like San Francisco or in California, New York, a place like that where people are just crackheads and like there's civil society has gone to shit. In Chicago, that's another place like that. Any big city like that where you have like an extreme number of drug users, lawlessness, poverty, an extreme number of like black people living in one place, anything like that is going to be hell. Like none of it is going to make any sense. So if you find yourself in a place where you're like, oh my God, like I have no idea what, like I up is down and blah, blah, blah. If you can call someone who seems to have like, first of all, your best interest at heart, like someone that you trust, someone that you feel could give you some pragmatic advice, calling that person could be useful, but also just touching grass, like quite literally touching grass just works. But okay, so let's go back. So my mom shows up in my car while I'm full blown in like a panic attack or whatever, and she shows up and I'm just like, why are you here? I literally asked her that. I'm like, why are you here? And she's like, I can't remember if she said get in the car, or I think she said something like get in the car. Yeah. So let me break down this situation though, because like she drives from her home where I was living with her at that time. So she drives up in my vehicle, okay? Like this is my vehicle that I own. I have the title, like it's completely in my name, like this is my car. She drives up in my car and is like, get in the car. Here's what I said. I am an adult, a whole individual adult right now, and I said, no, I'm not getting in your car. So that's the first thing. I said no. Now, when she goes back to explain this, she's like, yeah, but you were having a panic attack, and I felt, and I thought, and I was trying. It doesn't matter. If I say no, no means no. Like, if you're talking to an adult person who tells you no, that fucking means no. Like, it doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, well, I know this. Oh, well, that person has had a panic attack in the past. Oh, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. If an adult person tells you fucking no, it means no. And you can literally say no to a parent, a guardian, a grandmother, anybody. So that's the first thing. She says, get in the car. I say no. Then, here's the next thing I say. Give me my keys. That's what I tell her. I say, give me my keys. Now, she said, no. Here is where this is legally an issue, and what I found out is it is called trespassing. First of all, I did not give her permission to get into my vehicle. So she stole the vehicle, right? Because if you drive someone else's car and they do not say that you can use it, that's called theft. So she drives up in my vehicle, tells me to get in, I say no, and then I say, give me my keys. She says, no. And I was like, give me my keys now. That's what I said. In plain English, I said, give me my keys now. And she said, no. So I like reach for the keys from her to try to get the keys from her. She like pulls away with the keys. Then she throws the keys, like she threw them on like the sidewalk, right? So I go and I retrieve the keys, and I pick up the keys and I'm going to get into the actual car. She opens the door to the driver's seat of the car and tries to like get her physical body into the car. This is, mind you, these are my keys, this is my car, and I am trying to get into my vehicle to leave. She literally inserts her physical body into my car, right? And I am trying to open the door to get her to get out. Now I'm pulling the door and she's pulling the door. I'm pulling the door, she's pulling the door. And basically she gets smashed in the door of us doing this tug of war with the door. And then she starts screaming saying, "Oh my God, I've been hit with the door." Okay, so first of all, if you are gonna do a physical like back and forth with my vehicle and you're trying to get into the car, there's a really good chance that is going to happen. And that did happen. At the same time, you were trespassing onto my property, and I have a right to, first of all, protect my property and get in my fucking car and leave if I want to. And the really strange part about this, you hear her tell the story, she is the victim. How are you the victim when you are stealing somebody? You are stealing my car, old lady. She is stealing my car, talking about she's trying to protect somebody. Who are you trying to protect? Who? I said, give me my shit, and she said no. That's stealing, that's theft. There's not another part of the story, and it's like so weird because she goes around telling everyone another narrative of the story. And it's like, as I sit here with my police reports that say she is trespassing on my property, and I'm the person who's in the wrong. But in places where there's lawlessness, anything goes. Like literally, somebody could steal your property, and as you're trying to get your shit back, you're called the criminal now. No, like I have a right to protect my shit, and if I want it, it's mine. Like she can't just keep my shit in her house, just because she's my parent? No. You can't steal from anyone, not your kids, not your grandma, nope. Theft is theft. It's a very strange situation, and these are issues that I've had to confront. They're legal issues, but they're also moral issues, because you don't really want to be the person who's taking your fucking parents to court because they're stealing from you. At the same time, if you don't, it just gives them this open door to continue to fucking steal from you. It's a moral and a legal dilemma, and it's the one that I currently sit in. And it's very hard to understand, but I will say this to those of you who have been here for a minute, that is one of the biggest things I appreciate about conservative states as opposed to liberal states. Now, everyone in California seems to feel yeah, but those are your parents. Fuck your parents. Not everybody has good parents. Okay, there's people out here who I've told this story to who would have done way worse shit than I did to somebody like my parents. Some people have awful parents. Not everybody has, I'm not saying it's all people. I'm not saying it's everybody. But there are cases, and there are a lot of cases, where people have shitty parents. Bad parents who have really bad karma and are just awful, god-awful people. That's real. And we need to normalize that shit.